week of session here in the state capitol, very hot and steamy state capitol, not just because of the politics, but it's actually about 1,000 degrees. It went from 50 to 90 in about 12 hours, and that's Missouri weather, and is what it is. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to be quick today. We'll do another one of these on Friday. We might even shoot it. Might even shoot this one from somewhere one Friday in the Capitol. Let's just click through. I'm just going to go with questions today. We'll do about 10 minutes here. Tim, and I'm going to say Sedalia. I'm not sure. Penmanship's not that great. Anyone knows me, I knows I can back that up. I heard they'll quit early. Maybe. I mean, I've heard that before. We'll see. Don't know. I've heard. Look, here's the process is set up for the House to pass tons of bills. Usually pretty aggressive, especially when you have this big majority. There'll be very aggressive bills. And then the Senate passes just a few bills, and they usually had to have some form of compromise on them, right? So the House always gets frustrated because they pass mountains of bills that are popular on like Facebook or popular with your local, their party's more ideological stances, right? So they'll pass these bills. Then they get real ticked off when the Senate makes them water them down because you have to compromise in the Senate is what rules the day. So there's usually that tension there. It usually sticks quite a bit. So the House like, well, what if we just leave? Then you can't count on us to give in to pass the bill. It's always been talk. The speaker, I can see maybe doing that. The thing is, it doesn't really behoove the speaker here to leave early because you do that maybe to set up. You're a tough negotiator for next time. There is no next time with the term limits for the person in charge. So I think it takes a little bit of your reason to do it. But you've heard Don Rowe and others get up and complain that the Senate, they have to take Senate stuff and they don't take House stuff. And that is the way the process is set to work. That's the way it's always worked, and always will work. You have one body that passes out a bunch of very ideologically aggressive stuff. Then you have another body that narrowly passes a few things and with some compromise. Stein knowledge. I'd be surprised if they left early, right? But who knows? I mean, let's get to the next question. I had like 5 of these maps. If they go to the city cannot go to that last House map. So what I think you saw was the House trying to guess what the Senate wanted from some of their public statements. You gave Senator Bratton what he wanted. You have to Boone County. Fair enough. You gave Senator Brose what he wanted. More controversially, hacking up Webster County. Now, if they could vote for the map, that'd be a problem. Senator Onder, remember, he got his map, this squirrely Senate map. He didn't vote for it. That didn't go over too well, some folks. I think your average senator is fine if they just don't have a map. I think everybody thinks you should try one more time. And by try, there's negotiations been going on all the time, on and off. But bring it on the floor and try again. I think most folks think that's the right thing to do. Let's just look at your playing cards here, right? Senator Rowden, you look at the counties that got split. Boone County got split. I think that was Senator Rowden being a guy that's trying to say, look, I'm splitting my own county so some of you can split your counties. That's being a leader. Maybe that worked out like for Boone County, but being a leader. He's got a theory, which I kind of agree with. In Boone County, you care about the college, right? The college having 2 members of Congress is better than one. I think that could be the case. Depends on who those 2 members are. That could be the case. Is the college going to be better protected by a person from Boone County? Maybe. And it's going to hurt you having a person from Boone County. You split the county in half, right? And it kind of surprised me that Representative Walsh didn't have more friends, right? I mean, they cut her out of the district. So you thought she would have a few more friends than that, but apparently she didn't. If you're Senator Onder, he's the one, let's be honest, who's going to have the guts to go on the mattress and really push things into Senator Onder. It always has been all session. When he got that Senate map out, it was amazing what the hoops they jumped through to make him happen. That was a great political feat, and I attribute it to him. But if you're him, you're holding cards, whatever this is, whatever percent of that district is St. Charles, right? You got to figure you're better off with whatever that number is on that map than a panel of judges. And then when you leave, okay, so Senator, I don't go to bat for you, but right now you got both of them. What's the chances that they really go dig in and do this whole thing with a freshman senator? Keep in mind, Senator Eidel and Senator Onder are senior senators. Senator Eigel's in his 6th year. This is Senator Onder's 8th year. A more junior senator, which you'll have, won't have the ability to maybe maneuver things as comfortably as someone like that. So your hand's weaker. I mean, I don't know. I just think if it comes to Friday, that map the House passed going to be a better deal for you than you're going to get over here. Now, let's pop around. So Jefferson County, they cut some more of that up. Look, Jefferson County is a suburb of St. Louis. It is St. Louis. I mean, it's not the Jeffco people, but to the rest of us, it's just more St. Louis. To that Herculean, right? Then it kind of gets into a real county like rural Missouri. But it's just suburban, cul-de-sac, godless wasteland until you get down to Herculean. That's what the population is. So if you're from Jefferson County, you can cut a lot of the southern part out, and especially that southwestern part, and then you can lose it in people. You look, your population's right along I-55 there, and that's what they kept. Still way too many St. Louisans in the 8th District. Porter Wagner doesn't list congressman from St. Louis. His family. I don't know that, but ask him. I bet you that's the truth. Bouncing around here. The last thing. Here's the thing. I mean, this may be the tricky spot, right? I really think Senator Burleson looks at this map and says, okay, Webster County, Mike Cunningham from there, I would rather not have it in the 7th. Look, you can say, it shouldn't be about that. It's about that. Get over yourselves. If you're bringing me into the chat room, it's not about that, then don't be it's not about that guy. Because it's about that. That's what it's about. It's about how do we help me become a congressman? How do we help someone from my town become a congressman? That's what it's about. After that, it's just say it. No one cares. You can do your sanctimonious 7-1, whatever. And if you're dumb enough to still buy that, you deserve your stupidity. But the fact is, it's about raw power. Oh, speaking of raw power, love this. From my man Brad. Look at that, baby. Got Clydesdales all over it. Man Brad up in Scott County gave me that. Thank you, sir. Very great. Thank you for watching. So you got Webster County. This is where I think the fly limit may be here. If Senator Rowden's willing to be a leader, split his county to get a map done, make Senator Brett happy, kudos to him. There you go. Look at that. How you Senator Onder, I think you get down and look, whatever the deal is here, whatever number is on this map that we can get done, God, I got to think it's better. I'm going to get otherwise. Now, maybe he says, heck with it, don't care. I don't know. He's got, Bob Onder has a brother who's got a lot of connections that have bar cards. So maybe that he knows things I don't know, always possible. But I think if you're him, you look at that map being like, I think this is a better map than I could get. The problem, you keep in mind, Senator Onder ran for Congress when it was opened up against Blaine Luetkemeyer. Blaine was from the western side of the district over in Miller County. California is where he was got a bank and all that. Well, then you had some Columbia people, but there's kind of those two. And St. Charles didn't have the numbers. Now, St. Charles has grown much faster than the rest of that district, St. Charles County area. So it's changing. My assumption is you'll see some growth in St. Charles County. It's already starting to kind of level up. Then COVID happened. And now, people want to get away from those regulations in the city, so St. Charles is the place to do that. I think St. Charles's growth was still growing, but it kind of leveled off from the skyrocketing growth. I think it's picking back up again. Now, maybe that's going over Lincoln County and you're getting further out. But really, there's a lot of St. Charles County in that southern part of the county that's still further out you can get to, right? So, anyhow, complicated. He's got to make a decision. Will I get a better deal? Don't want to take this. Tough choices for him. Senator Esslinger is the interesting one. Mike Cunningham was the senator for 8 years. Close to Wasson. Webster County, kind of a Jay Wassity type place. It just feels like him. I get Senator Burleson would want that not in. But the way I think this is my guess. Eric Burleson is, he'll pick a social issue a year, or like something controversial and spicy. But on meaty real issues, he's always been known as a very good compromise. He brings a lot of people together. I've always seen him use some of that stuff with the those salty social issue things to help break it and reach and talk to some people that maybe wouldn't be as compromising based on credibility there. I think he probably would have been fine with leaving Webster in the 7th or the 8th, whichever one. However, once it got out that he was pushing for that, well, now those folks got ticked off. And so now I think now it's almost pot committed, right? Before you kind of wanted him out, but I really don't think he would have held up this process. So I really don't. I don't think it's just not a big enough part of that district to really have made a huge difference. And I think he would have been fine with it in or without. But if he had his preference, okay, push that one out, put this one in. But after word got out that he had made that move and they got so ticked off, now he's got to have it out. I mean, there's going to be a fired up group of people against him. So then it rolls back. Mike Cunningham's like, wait a minute, you're cutting my county? What? You're cutting my county. A little bit of what some folks out there reserve their senators would have about throwing St. Louis people into the. But anyway, he's like, keep my county together. I don't care where it is, but don't have the courthouse. This is ridiculous. So what happens? He was the biggest bag of interesting. I'm telling you, Mike Cunningham worked hard to see Carl Esslinger go to the Senate. Very hard. I don't think anybody outside of her herself worked harder than Mike Cunningham to see Senator Esslinger win a election she won by a couple hundred votes. I think that if it's possible to owe someone in politics, let's be real, Senator Esslinger owes Mike Cunningham. And I think the first time they did it in a real, honestly, they sort of threw paper at everybody. And by the time you knew what was going on, and it was after late at night, all this other stuff, I think this time it's going to be an issue what Senator Esslinger does. If I'm Senator Esslinger, I'm sitting here with cards, and I make the exact opposite conclusion of what Senator Honor would. I'm like, well, okay, there's no way a court is going to split Webster County. That's just not real. They'd have to be the stupidest, worst judges of all time. I'm probably better off just letting this go to the court, right? Because and so she's got now. I mean, where are we at? It's 2:00 now. So I mean, you're now into the 52-hour stretch. So we'll see what happens. I'm very pessimistic. She will allow. I think, and you're not going to be able to sneak up on her. And if she says no, you're going to have a lot of folks go with her. She won't be alone. If she decides she doesn't want this, now there's a lot of calculations go into these things, but I would say you're putting her, and really, Mike Cunningham was a big Caleb Brown supporter too. I remember there was Caleb Brown earned the respect of the senior senators at the time on the floor. And I think that was a big reason why he won his floor-leader race. And when I think of those senior senators at the time, Richard, Wasson, Kehoe, Cunningham. Those are the four old guard guys that all, I believe, in their own way, tried to help Caleb because they believed in him and he'd earned their respect. I don't think it makes Caleb Brown happy to do something that Mike Cunningham is this against. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun to watch. On the floor right now, I'll just wrap up here on the floor right now. They started it yesterday. The conservative caucus going and just basically saying, doing a thorough review, which is good. I actually think this is a good. Now they get dogged for a lot of stuff, and sometimes their tactics. I get it. If you're a casual political observer, it comes up a little heavy-handed or something. However, going through all these omnibus bills is a very good service that the conservative caucus does for the state of Missouri. Going through each one. You know what? These omnibus bills are bad news. It's how really bad stuff happens. And the fact that, and they also, to be fair, they have said from the beginning, 2 weeks ago, that they would be reading each amendment on the floor. That is a very good thing. And I get it. If I were some other senators, I would be tired of some of the antics. But if you're just a citizen, I'm telling you, them going through these omnibus bills, and let's say killing 5 of the 7 or what it killed, you're not better off as a regular Missourian who's drinking a beer, waiting to watch the Cardinals game, and listen to this. If you're having these huge omnibus bills come in, it's not good. So they're going to do that, and I think they're going to try to add their stuff on it. We'll see. I can see a PQ on transgender athletes in session. I don't think they PQ the map. You hope they don't anyway, right? So that seems like a lot, but it certainly for a PQ, transgender athletes thing seems ridiculous to PQ over something like that. I mean, do a PQ over something substantive that really affects folks. But in a session, everybody thinks their bill's the biggest bill of all time. Everybody's against a PQ until it's their bill. Then all of a sudden, well, we've got the Missourians are clamoring for this. We have to make this happen. Last piece here. They talk about leaving early. I doubt they leave early. We talked about the maps. I think they could get a map. I really do. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're Senator Burleson, are you really gonna be the one that if Senator Esslinger says, you know what, you're not doing this. Put Webster County, either county, but leave it alone. if you're Cinder Burles, and I'm pretty sure you can figure out a way to say, okay, that's what we'll do. You put it in the 8th, where it's not running against me, and we work the map a little bit. There's a compromise there that could work. And I think events caught up with Webster County and Cinder Burles and more than anything else. I think a situation went from 0 to 100 before they all knew what was going to happen with it. So, long story short, I think what we'll see is I think you could see a map. It'll be interesting. If you see here's a telltale thing. If you see a map pass tonight or tomorrow, then a lot of other stuff can pass, because that's sort of the thing. A little tension in the air, a little extra energy. That's the thing making everything crazy. So if a map passes, then Katie bar the door, right? If a map doesn't pass, it'll be very interesting. And stay tuned, Missouri Times, Kelton, Brady, everybody's out giving you the Senate minute by minute. Go to MissouriTimes.com. This week on the show, we're going to have Senator Bowden. We're going to ask him. We're taping this in the morning. It's always a tough show because we tape in the morning. And so the last day of session, a lot of things could happen. It'd be very interesting to see what Senator Bowden has to say about this and heading into the campaigns. Join us Sunday, this week in Missouri Politics in Central Missouri on PBS. Very glad I'm in KMOS Month. 10:30, 9 o'clock in St. Louis. And watch for the summer. You'll see us around a few other places. Thank you so much. So grateful for everyone watching, listening to Missouri Times. Big things planned for the summer. I can't wait to talk about it next week. Thank you.